All right, everybody. You're getting this video today because I wanted to introduce our loan readiness specialist. Her name is Ashli Griswold, and she's with an amazing company called Uqual. We send this out to our clients who aren't quite yet in that perfect position to be able to buy a home just yet. But like we tell everybody, it's not a matter of if you can buy a house, it's a matter of when you can buy a house. And so I'm going to let Ashli introduce her and her services and what she does for our clients and give you a little bit of information so you're comfortable maybe having a conversation with her.
Yes, hello. My name is Ashli Griswold. I am a broker relations manager here at Uqual. We are a loan readiness fintech platform, and thankfully, Scott over here has gotten you connected with me because we're not quite where we need to be to get you qualified. My job is to help Scott and his team get his clients ready for their purchase. So our platform is set up to help with DTI management, budgeting tools, help improve credit, help with documents, everything that you would need from start to finish, all the way to your pre-approval. Because you're being referred over by Scott and his team, you're going to get a free, no obligation consultation to go over your specific situation, where we'll take a look at a soft pull credit report and talk about you and what your goals are so we can get you back over to Scott and his team as quickly as possible.
What would you say, like maybe some of the biggest things that you have helped people, some success stories? So what are some things that you've done recently that you could say, due to your services, this happened quicker, here's why, give me a little bit deeper.
Honestly, one of my favorite ones that I talk about is not recently, but it is the first loan that I ever closed. He was a veteran and he was struggling with his credit because he had had a lot of medical bills that were inaccurately placed on his credit report because of VA issues. We were able to, through our dispute platform, he was able to file and launch disputes that got enough of those accounts removed from his credit report that he was able to qualify for the minimum score required for a VA loan. His other option would have been paying every single one of those medical bills, which equated to over $200,000 in medical bills.
Wow.
That is not obviously obtainable for a lot of people. So we were able to give him a platform that in less than 60 days, he went from not being qualified to being qualified. And it's going to be different client to client, but that's also part of the, consultation, is figuring out what their circumstances look like. What is the goal we're trying to achieve? But that's one of my favorite ones because he sent me a picture afterwards in front of his house and I was so excited.
That's so great. No, that's an awesome story. I mean, what would you say the average, time? I know it varies so greatly from client to client, what kind of things have to be worked on, but on average, what do you find it takes to go through the process for most people?
On average, clients are with us between 3 and 6 months. Typically, that's going to vary, like you said, person to person. There's also plenty of people that even after they've closed their loan, they stay in our platform because they're trying to refinance or just to, get everything in check. So that obviously extends it a little bit, but I can tell you the quickest one that we had was 17 days. And I think the longest person we had was 470 something from initial enrollment until closing. So it can vary greatly, depend on the person, but we make sure that the clients are set up for success to get there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because sometimes the holes are a little bit deeper and it takes longer to get out of them, and sometimes they're really shallow and it's an easy fix. You just don't know until we get a chance to look at it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. It could be, a very quick, pay down this or settle this or dispute this, or it could be something like, we're going to need to do this for 6 months because of this, this, and this. But we help the clients understand why they're in that position and why their timeline looks like that, so they're not in the dark about it.
What are some of the biggest mistakes you see people make before they call you that it's like, I wish you didn't do that? There's better ways to handle it.
Yeah, that's a great question. Two of my kind of biggest ones that I follow up with people is how they pay their credit cards down. A lot of people typically start with their largest credit card. Let's just say you have 5 credit cards and 4 of them have $1,000 balance and 1 of them has a $5,000 balance. A lot of people typically think that they should go and pay off that one big credit card to get the most points out of their report. But realistically, paying off 4 small credit cards is going to equate to more points on their credit report than paying off one large one. So ultimately, it doesn't come down to how big the balance is. What it comes down to is what your utilization is, but each one of those cards are worth the same. Secondarily is closing out credit cards because they are scared of them, or they just, spent 5 years paying down this big credit card and now they, don't want to have it. So they cut it up, they close the card out. Don't do that. Just don't close it out. You need that history. You want that positive history on there. You just, if you want to cut up the card, totally fine, but keep the account open because you want to have that continuous payment history. And that is the only account that you have that you can consistently keep open at all times. Student loans, mortgages, auto loans, they all eventually close out at some point. A credit card doesn't. So that is going to be your best friend as long as you keep it active. So making sure you use it every quarter.
Cool, cool. Is there anything else that we need to tell the public about your services that I missed here?
Honestly, I think we covered everything. My biggest thing is do the consultation. It's completely free. There's no obligation to enroll, but at least we can give you some tips that's going to better prepare you for when you do want to move forward. But starting off with that consultation is the first step, and it's super easy, and we will guide you through the whole process.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Ashli. Hopefully you're going to be talking to some of our clients here in the near future. And, if you have any other questions or anything, you can call our office. All of Ashli's information will be attached to this video and everything like that. So please be open to having that conversation with her. We really do want to move you forward into your house. And, she's the expert. I don't pretend to know everything about credit. That's not my job. My job is to get loans closed. That's why we work with awesome professionals like Ashli who take care of that part.